Yeah, how you doing? Oh, there we go.
Please move away from the doors.
There's our precious Sky Juice.
Please
Oh,
move away from the
what?
doors.
I'm just
Hey,
about.
everyone.
I can't. I can't hear Sky. Hang on. I'm just gonna message her. Van, where you at? We're live.
Hey, sorry about that. I got kicked off.
That's
All right.
cool. We're live. We're live now.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so welcome to the MARINATE show with Brother Nature and Sky Juice and Claire Clouds.
Please move away from the doors.
And you're hearing a lot of noise in the background because I'm actually on the
Please move
bus.
away from the doors.
I'm on public transportation. This is how it is when you live in the big city of New York. But we keep a tight schedule. We keep a tight ship around here. So, you know, that doesn't stop. One monkey don't stop the show, right? And
Please move
FYI,
away from the doors.
our beloved Sky Juice is not feeling well. As you know, she's back from New York. She just got in today, and she's not feeling well. So we're gonna go ahead with the call without Sky. All right, but she's with us anyway, as you know. So send her plenty of loving rays and sunshine her way. Okay, send her some virtual chicken noodle soup, and she'll be back on her feet tomorrow. Actually, somebody very close to me was like knocked on their ass last night, and I told them, it's just a 24-hour bug. And sure enough, this morning when I called her, she's like better than ever. So, plus Sky eats well, so she's not going to be down for long. But anyway, we're going to touch on a few topics tonight. One of the topics that I
Please
definitely
move
want to
away
touch
from the
on
doors.
is
Please move away from
I'm
the
a part of
doors.
this group. I'm a part of this group
Please move
called
away from the doors.
what
Please move away from the doors.
What Are Women
Please
Thinking?
move away from the doors.
I'm sorry about the noise. The name of the group is What Are
Please move away
Women
from the doors.
Thinking?
Please move away from the doors.
And the person that posted
Please move
the
away from the doors.
person that posted the
Please
message,
move away from the doors.
her name is
Please move away from the
Candace Will.
Please move from the
It
doors.
says name something
Please move away from the doors.
that men do
Please
that
move
turn
away
women
from the
off,
doors.
but they believe it's a turn on. So in other words, name something that turns women off,
Please move away from the doors.
but we
Please move away from the doors.
but we men feel
Please move away from the doors.
but we men feel that it's a turn on. So Claire, take it away.
I don't know. You got me stumped a bit this morning, Ben. Let me think. Probably like I don't know if you go. Are you there? If you're going out on a date and maybe like I don't know, like maybe sharing food or something. Hell, I don't know. What were you gonna say, Van? Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I just put the phone up to my ear so I could hear exactly what you were saying. I noticed you got off that question real quick.
No, I was just thinking like maybe like when you're out on a date and like maybe like people are like sharing food, like you order your own plate, but then like they're picking off your plate or something. I don't know. That's one thing that came to mind. I don't know why, but yeah.
Yeah, see, some people wouldn't mind that, but I do understand what you're saying, especially if you don't know the person that well.
Doors closing.
And it's like, you're dating, you agree to go out on a date with this person, and then they just take the liberty of picking at your plate. Yeah, that would bother me too. Yeah, that would bother me.
That's one thing. What about you, Van?
Oh, this question was basically for the women, but I can give an assumption of some said on the post. I didn't write them down, but it could be anything from um, lickings. It could be from like I put what I put was asking your lover if she had an orgasm.
Oh yeah,
I found yeah, yeah, I found that when a lot of guys, well, I can only speak for me and the people that I speak to. A lot of us are training lovemaking porno those things, and it's cheesy enough, right? But you actually believe that that's the way you go about, you know, uh, connecting and getting with someone. So that I've seen actually thought that was the thing to do. So that was something that I had gotten into the habit of saying. And it was this one girl in particular that she just couldn't
Oh, Van, you're breaking
take
up
it
real bad.
anymore. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, kind of. It's a bit.
Yeah, I won't be on here too long, so hopefully the reception or the sound quality will improve. I don't know how much you heard, but I'll repeat that story. Growing up as a young man, I used to think that the way you get with a female was equivalent to what you saw on porno flicks. So I would conduct myself the same exact way, thinking that that was a romantic. I mean, I didn't know. I had no clue. I see these guys in these movies, and they're having their way with these gorgeous women, and I thought that was how you did it. So everything they said, everything they did, I mimicked that stuff, and come to find out,
Please move away from the doors.
and one of the things I would always ask was, "Did you come?" And
Please move away from the doors.
there was this one young lady in particular that was so sick of me asking that that one day she just went crazy on me, and she said, "No, as a matter of fact, I haven't, because you keep asking me if I have." And she said, a few other with a few other expletives to go along with it. And I was a little shattered by that, because I was under the impression that I was really rocking her world, and I really probably wasn't. And so that was one of the things that I said. But there are numerous comments up there. There were numerous comments up there. Some was
Please move away from the doors.
I mean, it's a wide.
Please move away from
I'm
the
sorry
doors.
about the noise. I know it's horrible.
Touch yellow tape to open doors.
Yeah, it was a wide assortment of comments. Anything from leaving the toilet seat up to not charging cell phones, or not asking how was your day, or anything. I mean, you women, it doesn't take you guys much to piss you off anyway. So I don't want any. I don't want any hate mail about that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's breaking up pretty bad.
Okay, I'm gonna go out and come back in. I'll be back. I'll be
Yeah.
right back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'll be off in 2 minutes. Yeah.
I was gonna say, what about like general things like like burping and like like farting and stuff like that? That's I mean, yeah, that's just not impressionable.
Right. I understand that 100%. 1 second. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I understand that 100%. I think that, first of all, people don't really communicate well with each other. People make a lot of assumptions about what's okay and what's not okay. Most people in couples, especially, rarely take the time to even sit down together and really get to know each other. People kind of people that somebody's supposed to know how you feel, and somebody's supposed to automatically know what's right and what's right and what's not. So that tempt sometimes, it makes one feel like they're being taken for granted. Makes one feel like you don't care enough to find out how they feel. When they might, you're pissed off. I'm guilty of that. I can relate. But it's probably one of the number one relationship killers. When you don't take the time to find out what's okay with your partner, so to speak. It's better. Hopefully this is much better. I hope. Okay, well, I'm just coming in off the street.
Okay, it's
I'm
getting
gonna
a
go
bit better
ahead
now,
with
I
the
think.
call.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure if Claire can hear me. I hope every. Oh,
It's breaking up a bit again.
oh, it was off before.
What's that?
It's such a great topic. I'd hate to waste it. You know, if you guys are not able to hear me, you
It's
know,
breaking up pretty bad, man.
so anything else you want to share on that topic comes to mind?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, what about like, things like bitching about your ex and stuff like that to, like if you're seeing someone and that's kind of like annoying. You're muted. You're muted. Can't hear it all, man. We can't hear you. Okay, that's better. I think that's better.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine now. Good.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Well, hopefully, I know it was pretty bad before, so I'll try to edit all that out. I'm going to kind of start from the beginning
Okay.
without taking too much time. The question of tonight is, first of all, welcome to the Marinate Show, where we marinate topics and then we season them up real good and let them marinate. And then when we get to them, they're nice and succulent and juicy, and they're very provocative topics of conversation. So we have yours truly, Brother Nature, and we have Sky Juice, who's under the weather tonight, so she's not joining us, but she was kind enough to set up the call. And we have Claire Clouds. As always, we are the Marinate crew. And the topic that I want to talk about tonight, I'm a part of this group called What Are Women Thinking? And the topic of tonight was, what is something that a man does that a woman will find it as a turnoff, but a man thinks it's turning her on. Okay, so that's not exactly the way it goes. Let me see if I can find it because I wrote it down. The person that posted it, her name is Candice Will, W-I-L, and the post reads, name something that men do that turns women off, but the men believe it's a turn on. So Claire, what were you saying before? What are some of the things that men do that they think that we think that it's driving you wild, it's making you it's making you excited or whatever, or it's just something that we think is cool, but it really pisses you off. I know you had a couple of examples.
Well, I was just thinking of another one, like, say if a guy's just sort of like being a bit too pushy, like keeps contacting you and maybe turning up, and yeah, it's kind of frustrating when you totally have that message like I'm not really into you sort of thing. Yeah, that's kind of frustrating. Oh, and
Well,
definitely
Claire,
the
well,
toilet seat
Claire,
thing.
you're a fine mama. I mean, the guys, they can't help themselves, baby. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what happens when you're as good looking as you are. That's gonna happen.
When you give them a clear picture and you say like, basically I'm not interested, then they keep, messaging and telling you, yeah, that's just a no-no.
I got it. I got it. And then you mentioned something about going out on a date and somebody picking at your food.
Yeah, that like, especially if you don't know them that well, that's kind of a bit, yeah, strange.
Well, for the record, you could pick at my plate anytime you'd like. I won't mind. But what I responded to on that post was I believe that it turns women off, but some of us guys thinks that it's okay is to ask her if she's had an orgasm, while having sex. Did you come? And the reason why I know that for a fact is from my own personal experience when I was a younger guy. My tutelage into how to have sex with women was basically learned by watching porno flicks, believe it or not. And I know a lot of guys are like that, right? And you couldn't tell me that that wasn't the way to go. I had no idea. Nobody was telling me different. So I see these guys. They got all these fine women. All they got to do is say hello or walk down the block and say, "Hey, how you doing?" And all of a sudden, they're banging this chick, and she's hot, right? So this has got to be the formula, right? So one of the things I think I picked up was I must have seen this in a movie where one of the porno stars had asked his partner, "Did you come?" Yeah, I know you love it. I know you like when I do that. Yeah, I'm tearing it up, ain't I? So I took on all that. I used to just mimic these guys, right? Until there was this one young lady who I'd been seeing, and she just couldn't take it anymore. So I'm almost embarrassed to admit this, but it's like she told me, "No, I haven't come, and I never come with you because you're always talking and asking me stupid things like, did I come? No, I didn't come." And she went in, and after that, I guess my ego was shattered. That was the end of our relations, but it taught me something. It taught me something that, women don't like. I mean, maybe not everybody. I can't speak for everybody based on one encounter, but I can say that I've asked that question, to numerous women, and they've confirmed that, oh, that's so cheesy, like that's such a turnoff. So, that for most women that I know personally, whether I was intimate with them or just friends, they've all confirmed to me that that is a no-no. Like, to ask a woman, did you come? Or, yeah, like those cheesy porno pickup lines, those are all turnoffs. But there are a million of them. I think that the best thing to do in any case of any scenario is to, sit down and talk with your significant other, whether she's your wife or your girlfriend or your lover or whatever, and just try to learn as much about her as possible. Learn what turns her on, because that's a clear touchdown. It's like in football. You can be on the 5-yard line, but if you commit a penalty, the flag's going down, and now you're like 10 yards, 15 yards back, and now you got to build that up again. So it's always good to know, what are the do's and what are the don'ts. And I'm speaking from experience because I'm still learning that, and each person is different too. You'll be with someone and certain things will be okay with her, and there'll be certain, you just got to learn. Everybody's different. Every woman is like, it's like playing an instrument. You got to learn how to play her, and she has to learn how to play you. So, before we move on, are there any other suggestions you have on that succulent topic, Claire Clouds?
No, I was just saying that I agree with the toilet seat thing. That's just a no-no. I can't stand that.
Yeah, most women can't. Yeah, because I had mentioned before that leaving the toilet seat up is a turn off. I don't know why. Like that, I don't know. It's like you guys are wired to hate that, and I wish I could. I don't know if that's a learned annoying thing, or is that just wired into your central nervous system as females. But every female I've ever known hates that. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's, I don't know. Well, Claire, you want to clear that up? Why do you hate that so much?
There's just got to be a compromise. I mean, it's just, especially if there's like piss all over the toilet seat. I mean, that's just wrong.
No, I understand that. So it's got to be a compromise. Okay. All right. So we leave the toilet seat down, and what do we get, Claire?
Just leave it down and everyone's happy.
Classic woman answer. Classic. Okay, well, as you know, as I mentioned, Sky Juice is under the weather tonight, so we're not going to hold a long call, but I just want to go over some quotes that I've read and talk about some people that it would be interesting for you to be a part of, maybe like their page. Pretty interesting. But anyway, a friend of mine, Fab Santana, she posted something tonight, the fabulous Fab Bliss. She says, the post says anyway, what's the biggest fear that women have when it comes to men? Claire, what's the biggest fear that women have when it comes to men? And I bet you it's not what you think.
The biggest fear when, can you say that again?
Sure. Fab Santana, a friend of mine, she posted something on her wall, and it went like this: what's the biggest fear women have when it comes to men? What's the biggest fear women have when it comes to men?
I'm gonna have to think about that one. Let me think. What's the biggest fear?
Well, don't fret, because I have a feeling we're going to probably talk about these things tomorrow also, because I think that these are topics I would love to hear what Sky had to say also, you know. So that's your homework assignment, Claire. Okay?
Okay.
So, yeah, you let you off the hook tonight, all right? But yeah, that's your homework assignment. What's the biggest fear that women have when it comes to men? What the article said was, and I don't mind giving it away because you probably have your own ideas, but it was basically saying that for men to not show up as men, meaning that you know, societal changes and men being beaten down so much in their own resolve that they start not being men themselves. You know, I remember like there was a time not too long ago where it was the thing for all women said they want a nice, sensitive man, and he's got to be sensitive and not afraid to cry, which is nothing wrong with that. But then it got to the point where they didn't really want that because now the guys were like a little too sensitive. You see what I'm saying? And with sensitivity comes emotion, you know, and then now you're not even dealing with, you know, like say if you're like a real He-Man, but you want him to be sensitive and crying and all this other stuff, then one thing kind of contradicts the other for the most part. I mean, you could be both, of course, but you know, at one point I was hearing where they just didn't want men to be like, you know, like He-Man at all. Like they just wanted somebody. They wanted an extension of a girlfriend, in my opinion. You know, and it just didn't work out because women who love men that are manly men, they realize that that's not what they wanted. So that's kind of like what that article was kind of talking about. But still, I want to hear your views on that too. You know, maybe tomorrow we'll have like half of the call going over some of the stuff we talked about, and then the other half we'll probably talk about something else. But I wanted to big up a friend of mine, someone I just met. Her name is Wendy Eaton Harris, and she goes by the name of Elvira. Remember Elvira, the Countess? Well, her name is Elvira, so it's Elviral. So that's elviraw.com, and she's the transformational, nutritional, and detoxification woman of light for optimum wellness, anti-aging, beauty, and reversal of dis-ease. Like she has a whole program. I think she studied at the Hippocratic Institute with Sky Juice actually, so they know each other. And me and her, we chatted up a little bit yesterday, and you know, I told her I'd give her a shout out. You know, so you guys should go to her page, Elvira, and go to elviraw.com, and it'll show you how to get to her Facebook page. And that was Wendy Eden Harris. Let's see, who am I going to talk about now? Let me talk about my man Christopher Aaron. That's our water fast guru, by the way, and that's a guy you might want to get to know. You know, you might want to friend him a little bit. You know, he's definitely the guy when you want to know how to water fast. It took me like, I would say, 2 or 3 times before I got it right. Like there's a way to water fast. There's a way to detox. There's a way to cleanse. Most of us will be setting ourselves up for a miserable failure unless you follow certain protocol when it comes to that. Because think about how intense that is. You know, you're not eating. You're just drinking water. And in some cases, you're doing what they call a dry fast. And a dry fast is not even drinking water. You're just taking in the sun and the air. You know, and Christopher Aaron does that a lot too. I haven't graduated to that point yet. Don't know if I even want to do all that. But it's a fascinating form of clarity and well-being. you know. So, but anyway, he goes into a quote where he says tonight, "A clean body reaps a clean mind, which makes for a free spirit." Now, if you really take that in and you really internalize that, what does that say to you? I mean, that sent shivers down my spine when I read that, because I internalized those words. And that's exactly what water fasting is all about. It's all about a clean mind, a clean body, and a clean spirit, and a connection to the universe, to God himself, you know? And like I said on the post, I said, well, self-care is health care, which is the most important form of wealth care for your personal welfare. I'm quite the rapper. I don't want to brag, but I can spit, all right? Don't test me. But anyway, that's my friend Christopher Aaron, Christopher with the K, Christopher Aaron. Check out his page. He's always got informative information. If you're thinking about making a lifestyle change where you just want to feel better, if you feel fatigue, if you know that you have, you know, we always know when something is not 100% with us. Come on, let's keep it 100. We always know. Okay, I don't care if you're 30, I don't care if you're 40, I don't care if you're 50 and above. It's never too late to take control of your health. You see what I'm saying? I don't care what kind of ailments you have. I don't care if your knees hurt. I don't care if you have arthritis. I don't care if you have diabetes. I don't care if you have cancer. I don't care if you have AIDS. All right? There's nothing, in my opinion, that you can't cure. I'm sorry. And I know you're not supposed to say that word, the C word. Okay, there are a couple of C words out there. One of them is cure. Okay? There's nothing that you can't do when you decide to do it when it comes to yourself, to your health. There's nothing. You just have to be willing to do what it is you have to do. And leading up to lifestyle change as far as like diet, herbal remedies, big up to Original Herbal Remedies, my herb shop that I learned my herbology from, Zola Kojo, the master herbalist. She allowed us to do a workshop last Saturday. God bless her, and she's blessing me with the opportunity to do many more workshops. And by the way, let me speak on that. Stay tuned for the workshops. They will continue. Wellness conversations for men and for the women that love them. And we will also branch off into wellness conversations for women and for the men that love them. Now, being that I'm a man, I'll stick to the man side, and I'm going to bring in a very close friend of mine, my brother from another mother. He goes by the name of Swell Boogie. And I'll have all these links on the, I'll shoot out all this information, so don't worry about the spelling. But my good friend Swell Boogie, SWEL Boogie. And he's on YouTube. He's got like a channel, Swellavision. It's hilarious. If you want to laugh until you can't stand up, go to Swellavision on YouTube. He's a crazy dude, man. But you know, me and him, we're like connected at the hip. You know, we connected the minute that we met each other. It's like we knew each other. It's like we were almost family. You know what I mean? And you know, I'm gonna bring him in with me, and we're gonna conduct a large series of workshops for men. And we're going to touch on every single topic that men deal with, and men that are not proud to admit. And I mean, I'm going to talk about erectile dysfunction. I'm going to talk about impotence. You know, I went in the other night into a story about being with somebody and I couldn't perform, and how that made me feel as a guy. You know, and come to find out it's not a rare thing. You know, it happens because our diet is poor. We're not eating right. We're not drinking water. We're not exercising. Our minds are stressed out. You know, so I was a young guy and this happened, and it happened to a lot of guys, because at my workshop I asked that question. And let me tell you, I wasn't the only guy in the room that happened to. 4 out of 5 men admitted in their early 20s and even, you know, earlier that happened to them. You know what I mean? So Me and Swell, we're going to touch on everything. You know, we're going to touch on molestation in men. We're going to touch on child abuse. We're going to touch and the effects of those things. We're going to touch on just toxins in the body. I'm going to touch on that for sure, and the indication that you're toxic based upon the smell of your fecal matter. You know, like when you take a dump, are you chasing people out of the house? Because I used to do that. I used to have to walk around with matches because I was ashamed. I was very self-conscious of the smell of myself when I went to do a number 2. And I'm not alone. You know, you ever at work or in a public place or even at home and somebody just went into the bathroom and it was like 25 elephants was just in there along with 2 lions, a tiger, and a bear? It's ridiculous, man. So I used to be that guy, you know, and we're going to touch on everything that men deal with. Okay, so stay tuned. We're going to put on a large series of workshops for men and for the women that love them. Claire, you got anything you want to share before I go in?
No, it sounds good. Sounds all good, man. Yeah.
Okay, you know, because I didn't, you know, I'm doing my greatest impersonation of Sky Juice, you know, and I'm talking for 50 minutes. She's really gonna slap me when she sees me again, whenever
Gonna
she's
get
not
you for that
around.
one. He's gonna get you for that one.
Yeah, she will. It's all right, but she's all the way in Puerto Rico, so I get away with it a little bit. But yeah, so lastly, I'm going to talk about another good friend of mine, and I'll be doing workshops with this gentleman too. My friend who I always talk about, his name is Tony Veer, and he's got a Facebook page that I really want you to check out. I've learned so much about myself through reading his work. I learned myself as a man, myself in relationships, the whole nine, and it's really, really, really balls to the wall. You have to face yourself when you read his stuff because a lot of it's going to be speaking to you. You ever turn on the channel and there's a reverend up there? It could be T.D. Jakes, it could be Joel Osteen, and you could just flip right in the middle of the program and it's like they're talking to you. Okay, that's Tony Veer for me. Okay, and I want to introduce him to as many of you that you know that'll just take the time to go to his page. It's Tony Veer's with an apostrophe S, VEAR apostrophe S, relationship advice. I'm telling you, if you start reading that stuff every day, it'll change your focus. It'll improve your relationship. It will. It'll improve you. And I'll just read off one of his quotes for the day. Let's see. It says, when relationships are at their best, eye-to-eye contact is communication. And both the partners are speaking the same language. Now, if you take your time and really, really internalize that and really think about that, come on, man. You're going to tell me that doesn't really send you? It sends you if you let it. You know what I mean? If you're present to what I just read, you can't be the same with your partner. You can't be. Or you better go find somebody that you can be present with, because I'm telling you, this is magic. This type of stuff saves marriages. Of course, it's up to you. You have to allow it in, you know. But anyway, I'm not, like I said, you know, I don't have my right hand tonight. You know, I do have my other right hand. I got 2 right hands. You know, I have 3 hands. I got 2 right hands and a left. Okay, I got one of my right hands. Clear Clouds is here, but I don't have the other right hand. So, you know, I'm probably going to sign off in a minute. But I want to read something. And I know, yeah, we read on this show, by the way. You know, this is a wellness show, and we talk about juicy topics and wellness, and we provide information. And I like to point people in the direction of informative, insightful, and necessary Facebook pages. Now, I have a friend, and her Facebook page is called Ancestral Echoes. Ancestral Echoes. And I'll, in case you have a problem spelling it out, I'll put out a post in a little while. Ancestral Echoes. Okay, it says, and I quote, God is consciousness, not a creator. God is the source of creation itself. It is not independent of you. It is totally of everything. So when I call myself God, I am not talking about my personal self. I'm talking about the expression of the God self. The rest, that rests inside of me. The verb, the energy, not the noun, person, place, or thing. You separate yourself from it and immediately become a limited being. That's what separates the believers from the knowers. The believers are the religious, the knowers are the spiritual. Okay, and I'm not taking sides on anything. I'm just saying that when I read that, that sent me. That sent me. Not the verb, but the noun. God. Check that out. Claire, what's up, baby?
Well, I was just gonna say I'm back on coconut water. I ordered my coconuts yesterday. I decided to do another bit of a coconut fast, so I'm enjoying them.
Man, that's got to be wonderful. I think that's going to be the next one I do. I got to check with Christopher because he was talking about doing a 40-day water fast in June. But if he's not going to do that, I think I'm going to do like a 15-day coconut water fast or something of that magnitude. I know you can share on that, Claire.
Yeah, it sounds good. Yeah, I love coconut water. I could just drink it all the time and, eat the flesh of the coconut. Nothing like it. Of course, I get the Thai coconuts over here, though.
Yeah, I don't know where my coconuts come from. They probably come from the Bronx, but they're still coconuts, I hope. But anyway, yeah, I have one sitting right here, actually. That's been looking at me for 2 days, and I think I'm going to crack it open either tonight or early in the morning and, savor that flesh, throughout the next couple of days or so. Something else I did was the last time I cracked open the coconut, I kind of simmered it down, the flesh part, like I grated it, not grated it, I blended it, and then I added it to, I don't know if it was brown rice, something that I did. I don't know if it was the brown rice I did, something of that nature, and it was fabulous. You can put some kind of bean in it, like a sweet bean, like a red bean. And you can just simmer that down and it tastes great because yeah, we talk about raw food, but I also celebrate being a vegan as well. Like, to me, you can cook certain things. I think you should get the majority of your food should be raw, like uncooked salads, juices, smoothies that support mainly a raw consistency, and but I still have a piece of meat from time to time. But I gotta say, it's very rare now. Like, I rarely eat meat at all. Like, if how many days have we been off of this thing? And if that equates to, let's just throw a number out there. If that equates to 60 meals since we've been off of it, I gotta honestly say that I probably had meat maybe 5 times, and it hasn't been a lot. I have not had a steak. I have not had, well, I've had some chicken, but I haven't even had shrimp, and that's like my ultimate weakness right there. I definitely haven't had pork because I haven't eaten pork consciously anyway for years. I'm sure we all eat it because it's in everything, but yeah, so I don't mind indulging, from time to time, and it's fun, I'm just happy with knowing that I'm in control of my diet now, and this time I'm sticking to that. So yeah, the coconut thing, I'm all for that, Claire. I'm all for that.
Sounds good, Van. Yeah, it's really it just makes you feel so good. I love it.
Yeah, I've never been on coconut water exclusively. Obviously, I've done water fasts, but I've never been on coconut exclusively. And I'm really interested. You know, I don't want to do another fast and then do the 40-day fast. So I'm trying to see what Christopher's doing. So when I get the confirmation from him, either way, either I'm going to be doing like a 15 to 21 day coconut water fast, or I'm going to be doing the 40-day water fast with Christopher Aaron. So, yeah. But anyway, you know, I don't know if you have anything you want to say, Claire. If not, you know, listen, guys, we love you. As I said, you know, go to Tony Veer's Relationship Advice. Check out elviroar.com. Check out my man Swell Boogie on YouTube, Swellavision. Of course, my man Christopher Aaron with a K. You know, he's all about lifestyle change and taking control of your health. If you want to feel like a kid again, believe me, he can show you how. Okay. I mean, I don't look this sweet all by myself. You know, I mean, I know I'm fine, but I didn't get that way on my own. You know, I had help. You know what I mean? Christopher showed me how to do that. Before I met Christopher, I looked like this. All the time. And then when I did the first water fast, this is what you got, baby. So, hey, I'm trying to tell you, you know, there's help for you. There's help for you. But anyway, yeah, we didn't even get to talk about Sky Juice. I wanted to talk about her. Go to skyjuice.com. SKAI juice.com. And she's another one that will lead you on the road to self-care and healthcare. She holds retreats in her home in Puerto Rico. She has raw food 10-day immersions, I think she calls them. It's like a challenge, a 10-day raw food challenge. Trust me, if you want to improve on your health, you can do it. You have to take the responsibility. Just remember. So once again, love you guys. For Claire Clouds, for Sky Juice, and for Brother Nature, peace. Oh, and check out Ancestral Echoes. Ancestral Echoes. Yeah, Claire. Take it away. Hey Claire, where's our theme music, baby?
Oh, I know. I didn't hit that up this morning, man. Let's
Hey.
let's do with that, hey? Should we end with that?
Let's take us out with it, babe. Come on, take us out with it. Check it out, y'all.
Okay, tune in, guys, for the next Marinate. I think we're on tomorrow, right, man?
Yes. We'll see you tomorrow night. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace.
Peace.
Good night.